Good morning, guys. Eugene here from Genius Trader. Welcome to yet another weekly Forex forecast for the week ending 26 March 2021. Right, guys. This week we're going to be focusing on the Euro USD, USD CAD, Pound USD, Gold, USD JPY, AUD USD, USD Swiss franc, and New Zealand dollar USD US dollar. So, guys, the the Euro USD, it's quite interesting because we can see that this week the Euro is a bit weak, as well as the USD. So to actually know the direction it's gonna take, um, we're gonna have to wait for key areas. For example, we've got key support at 118,300 around the zone here. If we get a break below that, 117,700 would do. And lastly, 117,200, would hold the bullish structure. So the last one would be the one that I would prefer to buy at. Um, However, this structure here, because like you can see that yesterday we got a nice bullish candle on a daily time frame. If we can get another one that breaks above the 119,300, then it would expose the 120 zone, and 124. Um, and we've got a range at 120 between 120 400 and 118 300. Like we might start a range within the, 118 330. That's a range. So that's a 200 pip range. Where we're gonna wait for the pair to touch the bottom of the range or the top of the range for us to actually make any move. So at the moment, if you knew about the resistance here at 119,300, you probably sold. But like I said, I'd rather wait for the top of the range or the bottom of the range before I can make any moves. So that's the Euro USD, the USD CAD. Oh, I forgot to mention this week's pivot point for the Euro USD. So it's gonna be, at 122,400. So that is like a shore level for this pair that we know that it's gonna, fall, like 99% sure that from this zone it's gonna fall. However, it might not get there because of the thing I mentioned, because of the range that I mentioned between 120,400 and 118,330. So should we get a break above, sorry about that, should we get a break above the 120,400, then it's going to expose 121,600, then eventually our pivot point. But for that to happen, we need a stronger Euro USD, Euro or a very weak USD. The USD CAD here, it's almost the same as the what you call this, the Euro USD, but here we sort of have, an idea of what's going on. The inverse head and shoulder, the right shoulder, left shoulder, the head over here, and it looks like the pair is about to break, above the neckline, which is this zone here, which is this red zone here. And it's also acting as a strong resistance at the same time. So should we get a break above and a retest, I'll be looking to buy in the pair up to 127.40. But for now, we just let it be and see what happens next. The pound USD cable. The cable is also interesting because it's on a previous support that we mentioned about a week ago or two, that 138,200, it's a buy zone. All the time the pair got here, it was just buying and buying, but it was just doing around about 48 pips. So the pair is retesting the zone lot. Like it already retested it 3 times. If it does go down again the fourth time, I doubt it's gonna be able to handle the, it's gonna be able to support it again, unless if it breaks above the 138,700, then I would know that, the bearish move would be negated. On the downside, we're looking at 137, 400, 137, 400. Look, you're gonna start here. 138 is also a good support zone. Then we've got 137, 700, which is a very strong support, as well as 137, 200 zone here, which is also a very good support. However, if you don't get a break below 138 or 138, 200, then I believe that the pound can continue going up if the pound is strong enough to take on the weak USD. Next one, oh, the pivot point for the pound. Oh, and the pivot point, sorry, and the pivot point for the USD CAD is also higher, which is at 127.40, which is here, 400. I mean, so if we get a move high to 127.4, then I'll be selling there all the way to the downside. So that's the pivot point for the week, which is about 100, 200 pips away. So we'll see if the pair will manage to get to that zone or not. If it doesn't, then we let it be. But if it does, it's great. Then we sell there at 127.400. The pound, also the pivot point for this week is at 142.400. It's at 142.400, which is around this zone here, which is in line with the 100 pivot Fibonacci retracement, and which is about 400 pips away, or 398 pips away. So let's see what happens. Are we gonna get a move all the way to the zone? 400 pip move? I don't know. Are we gonna get a move to the downside? The pair has to break below the zone first, retest, and that's when I'll be sure about the move. So for now, we don't know exactly where the pound is headed, but then we know our pivot point and our key areas. So we're just gonna, look for that as guideline. I mean, sorry. And the gold 1730, 1730 is our key support. So this is where the pair is finding support. And 1775 would be our key resistance. This is where you can be looking to sell for this week. And the thing, the pivot point for the week is 1755, which is around here. However, if when we get here, just make room for, in case the pair continue up to 1775 before actually selling. So wait for the price first to see what happens there at this pivot point, and maybe sell higher, or sell when you see that there's a clear rejection. The USD JPY, we spoke about this last week, and we are in a sell on this one. We believe that the 108.40 is the nearest support zone. However, we might get a break below that, then go to 108, which is a strong support as well. 107.4, which I think this is where the pair might come back up. However, 107.1 is our pivot point. So we'll see how it reacts to all of this, and we'll be buying from the zone all the way to 112 or 114. So for now, we wait for the pair to actually start falling, because the gold will start, rising. The pivot point I did mention on the USD JPY, just 107 100, and the AUD USD here. These are commodity pairs, so mostly um, we look at the obviously the country's economy and all of that. However, this week we, especially on the New Zealand dollar USD, um, we had a very good support structure here at um, 0.17350, and the pair just went ahead and broke all the key areas, and it's now in a bearish state, and it's like it's a sharp sell. So when we go to the daily time frame, we can see that on the yesterday we had a clear, bullish candle for change of direction, obviously. However, we need this um, this daily candle to close above this area, and also make a clear bullish candle that shows that there was a support, some sort of support at 0.7600, and that's when we will know that this area would be our stop loss, and our buy area would still remain at 71400 zone, around the zones here, all the way to the upside. However, if this daily candle does not close above here, then we have a change of direction, and the pair would continue falling. The USD Swiss franc is also, in the middle of, um, let's say, nowhere. However, it did find support here at 0.92256, which is sort of you know, um, a support structure dating back from this, candles here. As you can see that we did get a gap, but then it was supported at the zones. So this is our support zone. However, it already been retested 3 times. Remember, the fourth time it's gonna break. So we wait and see exactly what happens. So what I'm gonna be looking at is a break below 0.92100, a retest, then I'll be looking to selling all the way to 0.9400 zone or even lower. And that's the pivot point for this week on the USD Swiss franc um, would be at 0.9372. Where is the thing? It will be 0.9372, which is around here. So I'll be looking at this area. If the market gets to that will be my pivot point for the week. However, it might not get to that point, but that's what we'll be looking for at this week's pivot point. What I'll be looking for also is a break below the 92 100 and a retest, so that I can sell the pair. And that's all for this week's pivot points and weekly market focused. I hope you enjoy, and please subscribe so that you can, and hit the bell notification so that you can always, you know, get notified when I upload a new video. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week and happy trading.